Hey wrestling friends, welcome to episode 21 of Suplexes and Microphones. I'm Nate, over there's Joe. Between us today we have the captain of the working team, Owen Knight. Owen, we're glad to have you here with us today.
Thank you.
Look forward to talking to you and getting to know you better.
It's about time. I feel like it's been a long time.
We've been talking about it for a while.
For a minute, for like a stretch of like what, 2 to 3 months?
And you're right down the road really from us being in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But I want to start this off by talking about the working team.
All right.
I kind of scouted you out on Facebook a little bit, and your Facebook says that working team is everything you believe in.
Yes.
Explain that.
I was raised by my mom, my aunt, my brother. I mean, not my brothers, I'm sorry. My mom, my aunt, my grandfather, my grandmother. And I can just remember as a child just always seeing them work. You know what I'm saying? Always seeing them like, whatever it is that they wanted to do, as far as like they always work for it. They always told me that. They instilled that in me and my brothers and my sister, that in life you gotta work for anything. And I feel like a lot of stuff, I just feel like a lot of things are just given to certain people. Mm-hmm. And like people take the work aspect out of it because it's like, well, if I could just slide by for the brief second, then it's just like, oh, what's work? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the working team is part of that. And it's just like, it's everything you need. Work is everything you need. So I'd rather work for something extremely hard, no matter how long it takes. But once I get it, I know that it's mine. Mm-hmm. And that way no one can take it from me because I work my ass myself. You know what I'm saying? I earned it. That's what I'm saying. And I just feel like I said, a lot of people just take stuff for granted. And like with the working team, it's just, you got to put in work. That's just, you have to put in work. No matter in all aspects what you do, inside the ring, outside the ring, on the mic. Like, it's on social media, it's ridiculous. I'm terrible at Twitter. Like, I'm so terrible at Twitter, and when I ask people, they be like, oh, Twitter sucks. Twitter's that or there, you don't need Twitter. I just gotta keep working it. Mm-hmm. So, moral story if I go off, but it's just work. The working team is just it's a lifestyle. Mm-hmm. It's a lifestyle of hard work, lifestyle of dedication. And whatever it is that you want to do in this life, as far even being a Ninja Turtle, be the best Ninja Turtle you could be.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Well, we're going to weave that into some of these questions coming up because I really liked your answer there. Let's talk about titles.
All right.
You currently hold one title, correct? Is that
Yes.
Heritage?
Yes.
Explain that one.
Yes. Well, the Georgia Heritage title comes from UIW, Universal Independent Wrestling, down in Georgia.
Where are they based at?
That down in Georgia.
Okay.
I don't want to. They normally run out of Buchanan, so that's why I'm gonna say that there.
Okay.
Or Temple, around that area. Okay. So their promotion, like, ended and, went away, and Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment came and, took the title, adopted it,
That's right.
made it to the Georgia Heritage Championship, which made me the first one of it.
Good.
Because that night before I won it. So.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk about another first and another title. You were the first ever Viral Outbreak champion.
Yes.
Won that in an incredible match.
Thank you.
And although a lot of the crowd was really wanting Sean Legacy to win it, later on, I even made a comment, if you remember back here, Sean should have won.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do.
Because the fans were just going nuts.
Yes.
But I will say, and shout out to Caleb Kitchens, he kept saying, just watch Owen, just watch him work, and you'll appreciate him more. And that has happened, I think, for me and Nate. We've kind of discussed a little bit how you've grown on us a lot. We've mostly seen you here at Viral. I've seen you once at AWE. I'd love to see you expand out into the Carolinas and so on and so forth. But tell us about winning the Outbreak title. Tell us about that match that was here at Viral.
It was cool. Actually it was more than cool. It was actually really dope. Prior to that match, I was in like one ever ladder match ever. And the first ladder match was terrible. Like it was like in a, I don't even want to say a barn house. It's like a warehouse. It's like in the middle of November. It was ridiculous. It was like 13 degrees outside. It was ridiculous. It was for a title that doesn't even, it was ridiculous. So when it was announced and everything, I was really excited because the people involved, and it was, incredibly talented. And it was just a lot of like good energy going into it so that way we can make a masterpiece. And when we went into the first ever Outbreak title, that was dope. It was so dope. It's cool to be first time ever. Yeah. And when I won it, and then I posted it, my mom called me and she was like, "Oh my God!" Like she blew it up out of proportion. I was like, "Yay!" And it was cool just to like see her reaction. You know what I'm saying? So it was really cool. And for like my fans and everything, it was really cool. It was really good to like see the feedback from people.
Yeah.
And it was really cool because I'm the type of guy who just like, if I see feedback, I don't really kind of like gloat or like you say something about me, okay, thank you so much, I'm keep it moving. Not to be rude, it's just I just want to just remain humble. I don't ever want to get too big headed because my head's already big. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to get way bigger headed than I am.
Okay, well, with your title and everything, and the reason I said what I said, I've only seen you play heel. Have you ever worked as a face?
Yeah, I do. I work face and heel.
I'm sure you can, but where have you worked face? Because obviously not viral, but
Yeah, at AWE, that's like I don't want to say Uber babyface, but I mean I'm one of their top baby faces there.
Okay.
And as far as like expanding through like the Carolinas and stuff, that's like been a goal of mine for like the longest.
Okay.
Been a talk, so we're gonna keep some fingers crossed.
all right.
I enjoy you at the hill. You're a fun hill, real interactive. A lot of times the hills come out, they'll kind of snarl a little bit and keep walking, but you actually a lot of interaction, a lot of back and forth talking with the fans. And
If you
I
hear
enjoy
something that you can respond to, you usually do.
Yeah, it's just like some people always play the tough guy a lot, and I mean we all are tough to an extent.
Sure.
And I was having a chat with William Huckabee, and we were talking about like, people just being the tough guy. You know what I'm saying? Just a lot of people just don't be them. You know what I'm saying? If people are like giving energy to you, especially when I'm out there, I'm not gonna feed off of every single one. But if it's something that's just like, oh, I can use that, or you know what I'm saying, like the Tacoma thing.
Okay, I was gonna bring that up.
Like, oh my God, it was the worst botch ever, and it was literally by accident.
Yeah.
The gentleman who was announcing at the time, it was actually when I think
It was Flatline.
It was Flatline. It was when Flatline was
Yeah.
it was like I don't want to say close to the last show.
It was
but
next to last.
Yeah, I had just got there, and I don't even remember who I was working at the time. But all I remember, and I told him, he asked me before. He was like, "Yo, right before I go back out, what is it?" I was like, "I'm from here. I'm from Washington D.C. This, that, and the third is what you say." He's like, "Okay, cool, I got it."
He didn't though.
So we go out there. I get up there, and literally we make he says it, and he's like, "From Tacoma," and as he says it, I look at him like, "He's from Tacoma." And from that day on, I was really enraged because I take pride of where I'm from. I really do take so like people joke and say I'm from Baltimore or Maryland. I'm from DC.
Yeah.
I'm from Washington DC. So when he said it, I was more so like,
It's not even close.
30 seconds ago. It was 30 seconds ago. We just had this conversation.
You're on a whole other coast.
Exactly. So now if they say Tacoma, I'm like, okay, hey.
Yeah. That's something we usually keep going here because
Yeah.
that's Flatline viral has kind of assumed a lot of the Flatline stars
Yes.
and things like that. So you'll hear our section say that.
Oh, it's fine. It reminds me. I just be like, could. And I always tell the announcer, I'm like, look, do not be another Tacoma.
Yeah.
At least give me something cool where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? The Tacoma.
Right. Yeah.
And you came out at a viral show. You hadn't been here for a while, and you came out, and I called you Tacoma. And that was like a year ago. Shut up.
Exactly. I was like, hey, what?
It's like I remember.
That's funny. Well, let's talk about this. Is at the bottom of my page here. Let's talk about being from DC. How long were you there?
All my life.
Okay.
I was born Northwest in Washington Hospital Center, September 5th. I lived in Maryland for a little bit until I was about to go into high school, and my mom wanted me just to do good in school because I was lying about stupid stuff, lying about homework and stuff like that. I was just literally just focused on wrestling. I would play the video games. I had all the action figures. Mm-hmm. So even when I get home from school, when I got home from school, my aunt and my mom used to be like, 30 minutes to chill or whatever, and then get into your homework. Mm-hmm. It'll be 30 hours. And I was like, oh shit, I got homework. You know what I'm saying? So I've been there all my life, and then once I was about to go into high school is when I moved back with my aunt because she was living in DC and my mom was living in Maryland. So I moved back. I moved into with my aunt to go through high school, and then I stayed there until I left.
Okay, and let's talk about that because I heard you and Nate just a few minutes ago talking about what brought you down south.
Yes.
So let's get into that.
When I was in high school, it was me and my friend. His name was Kevin, and we were supposed to, go, start this wrestling thing. Start this journey. It was gonna be a tag team. It was called Team Sabotage. It was gonna be a team, and it was gonna be dope. And we were originally gonna go to, at the time, was OVW when it was when it had, because my aunt was just so, it was you need to go where all the the stars on TV are. And at the time it was Brock was there. Brock had Brock, Cena, Shelby,
Sure.
all of them.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, it's cool. And then he stumbled upon WWA 4 at the time when it was run by Total Protection, Mr. Hughes.
Yeah.
So it was out of all the schools that we saw, because we had looked up the ones in 50 states, and that was the most inexpensive one for like the time too. And it was actually offering way more as far as like the ring time and what it was. So we went down there. I came down here May 13th, 2013. I saved up a little money after I graduated in 2012. Came down, and ever since then, my mom and them drove me down here, and he didn't end up coming with me. He ended up staying.
Really?
Yes, for some girl, man. He was.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, man. So I'm like, oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. So it is what it is. But they drove me here, and fast forward, time here is just working. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. And I also have on here who trained you. So you went to Mr. Hughes. We hear about Mr. Hughes' school more often. We're hearing about George South, obviously up in North Carolina and things like that. But I have heard a few people talk about training there. So tell us a little bit about that experience.
I think Hughes is like as far as a trainer wise, I don't want to say he kind of doesn't get credited, but there's a lot of good people that he has trained. Jonathan Gresham, R.H. Kier, myself, Axel Ross, a lot of other people, SP the Ghost, Chad Skywalker. There's a lot of people that he has like trained and helped, and Apollo Crews. There's a lot of them. And Hughes just always, when we would train, he would always teach us the fundamentals of wrestling, the psychology behind it. Don't do something if it's not gonna make sense, or you know what I'm saying. Too much is kind of too much. You know what I'm saying. You don't really got to do too much to get your point across. Yes, yeah. Sorry, you don't really got to do too much to get your point across. And I remember days going in there, like we would go in there, we'll do calisthenics, we'll start, and then we'll run ropes. He'll go through some drills and he'll teach us just literally like the proper way, the fundamentals, like psychology, the hate of heel, face, what to do, what not to do. You know what I'm saying. It was times where he did let us we could put our own little twists and our own creativity on it to stand out. Because at the time when I got there, we had to train, we had to do a 5-minute match to get into the weekly show. Okay. And weekly show, which they still do now, is every Thursday. And it was the graduating to get there. So most of my heel work started there because I was actually face for the longest there, and I think I was in a tag match with Gresham, and we were the pricks. And Hughes just loved it ever since then. He was like, "Oh, we always going," and ever since then, everywhere he'll book me or you're here, like everywhere. Even when I want to be face, he's just like, no. So
you're just too good at it.
Yeah. Overall, he's a great teacher. I love him. He taught me how to wrestle. So I'm forever in that.
And now his school's still up and running, is it not?
Actually, no. He stepped down from training. Yeah, a while back.
The school's still there, but not under him.
Yeah. The school's still there. The school is run under AR Fox actually. The location, as far as wise, it's still around the Fulton, Atlanta area.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, you have to look it up, but it's still up and running, and I think it still does Thursday shows as well too.
Okay. I was just thinking about, I saw you at Dragon Con, month and a half, 2 months ago, and you weren't in any matches there. I was a little, I know you're from here, you should be here.
Yeah, I was too.
But just prior to that, a guy walked by and I was like, man, that guy's cosplaying Mr. Hughes really well. Well, it was him.
Oh yeah.
so he was nailing it. But yeah, we saw you after the show, which I was glad to see. And then we talked a little bit about doing this interview then. But
it's about time. I'm so happy doing this. You don't understand. Even when I was in traffic, I was like, I hope they don't be like, well, we ready to come back. And I'm like, no, we're gonna make it.
We've had closer calls than this.
That's what I was like. Oh my God. Then when I got here, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I just walked in.
And the good thing was we're set up and ready to go.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so let's talk a little bit more about training. I follow you on Instagram, follow you on Facebook, and correct me if I'm wrong, but do you not do some weight training with Odinson?
I used to work out with Odinson, and our schedules and everything, conflict and everything, and he's on the bigger and things that's way more time consuming. He just got offered him and Perot, his tag team partner, and they run up in the ball. They just got something going over Japan, so that's really good for him.
That's good.
Yeah. But I was working out with him for the longest. Him and another one of our buddies, they were doing this nutrition, weight, food diet thing. Mm-hmm. He was telling me about getting on and then doing it or whatever. And at first I was kind of skeptical because I kind of like to work out and do my own thing, and I really have a hard time this is what you gotta do. As far as someone's like, oh, really? Mm-hmm. But as I took heed to what he was saying, and when the times we did work out together, it was some of the best workouts I've had as far as getting to know my muscles and my body. You know what I'm saying? So I work out way differently now when I do work out. I'm in a whole different like mind state, and just conscious. It's just a lot. So I really am happy for what he's got going on, and I always go work out with him. But whenever our schedules meet back, we will. Yeah.
I figure he's somebody that would definitely probably push some folks in the right direction.
Oh yeah, man. When we'll be in the gym and he'll flex. He just be flexing. I'll just be like, all right, let's go. And then everyone just be like, all right. You know what I'm saying? The gym will clear. I mean, we'll get there, and the gym will clear out literally like 15 minutes. And I'm not even exaggerating. It'll be 5 people there. We'll come and warm up. By the time warm up, it's 2 people. And it's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, we're so bullies.
I can imagine trying to keep up with that guy.
And yeah, I mean, if outside looking at it, it's intimidating because it's like, yo, you're huge. You won. You know what I'm saying? You won, go.
But see, if you're the strongest guy in the gym, you need to find a new gym. So that was good for you. You know what I mean? If he's pushing you, that's good for you. Right?
Yeah. Always. Yeah, he's on.
So you and I talked a little bit through Messenger about your influences, and you mentioned Edge, Jericho, Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, and Rey Mysterio. So tell us a little bit about how you follow these guys. I noticed they're almost all WCW guys. Well, not Edge. Jericho and Guerrero obviously started out there. But tell us about their influence, how you follow them, and anything of theirs that you try to incorporate.
My favorite wrestler of all time is Edge. And back when I was like watching Edge, he was on the last bit of him becoming, a rated R superstar and everything. So, but prior to them, he was always fun to watch, with him and Christian and everything. Like, it was really, really cool. But when he made that switch, I just gravitated to him as far as like the promo, just the intensity he would bring into the promos. His matches were incredible as well, but the promos is what really like caught me. Because like I would just like look at his eyes and be like, yo, he really is meaning what he says, and it was very like if you saw it, you go to like feel how he feels. So, and I always and forever would say he's like the greatest. This is my opinion. I really didn't watch a lot of WCW. I was always a WWF kid, but like even when I first got into wrestling, of course I go back, do my history, watch a lot of Jericho and old WCW matches. A lot of early Jericho was very, very good. I felt like his match-wise, attitude, it was so fresh, and I didn't take it I took it for granted as a little kid, but going back and looking at it now, it's just phenomenal. Kurt Angle is another one that I watch as far as like movement and how things are like executed. I think he's, if not the most intense wrestler ever. It's just off the simple fact of how he throws a punch. So much, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Just something as little as that. You know what I'm saying? And he's so demanding. That's what, like, out of everyone on that list, they're just demanding. There's a presence about them that's just so demanding. You know what I'm saying? And in my career, so I want to be. If I do anything, I want to just have like impact on something. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they always stick out to me. Even now, like I'll go through the network or on YouTube and I'll type in Rich Swann. I had a conversation with Rich Swann a while back, and we were just sitting there talking. And he was like, what type of wrestling do you watch? And I told him. And it was just like, I watch, a little bit of this, a little bit of Japan, a little bit of, old school, back. And he was just like, why don't you watch all of it? Like good and bad. So he literally was like, I get on YouTube and I literally just type it right and I just watch it. And you'll never know what it is. So that always stuck with me. So ever since then, it's like a year, I watch like everything. So like, even if I just stumble across it, I'll just watch it. And then be like, that'll be done with me. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So I want to get into doing promos, being a good talker, because we were lucky enough to be behind the curtain not too long ago when you cut a promo on Shawn Legacy. We loved it.
I think my promos were terrible.
Well, but you mentioned something. You had some speech problems as a kid.
Yeah, man.
Let's talk about that. Like how it's changed, and now you can talk our ear off. I mean,
it's still, and that's part of it. Like I had a stutter problem, like when I was like little, and my mind works faster than my mom sometimes. So I'd be like, oh no, and then I had to like catch up. You know what I'm saying? But when I was, I used to cut promos in the mirror. Like I literally would just like, if I'm, I'll just, because like when I'm in the bathroom, it's just me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I lock the door, and I would just go, and I'll just say whatever comes, or I'll copy a promo that I've seen on TV at the time and try to recite it, just to like get the mannerisms and everything. Like Edge's, WrestleMania 24 promo with him and Undertaker, it's one of my favorite promos by him. It was it was a ring promo. It wasn't a ring promo, but it was a backstage promo. But it was still good. It was really good, and you got what he was saying. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I'm a great like promoist, if that's a word, because I do kind of like rush, and I'll be like, oh no, and I'll think like, oh, that sounded way better, because I'll say something, we'll watch it, oh that's cool. I'll leave out the room, and I'll be like, oh, I should have said that,
Yeah.
and I'll be like, let me go back, and you know what I'm saying? Sometimes the magic is just made, and just like, oh.
Right.
Just thank God we recorded. I recorded one promo that was amazing, and the record button was not recorded.
Of course.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I don't remember it. So that's what it is.
All right. Moving on, we have a question that we've been asking for probably about 6 episodes now that a friend of ours, Cody Fluffman, sent us. Tracer X, you know Tracer, one of his family members put him on a Frosted Flakes box.
Oh, that's tight.
Okay? So if you were to have a cereal box with your picture on it, it was going to be the Owen Knight cereal. What brand, what would you what would you choose? So he's got Frosted Flakes. So.
See, and I like Frosted Flakes, but I don't. What would I put on? What else? Fruity Pebbles. No, not Fruity Pebbles. Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch?
Captain Crunch.
Which flavor?
The regular one.
Okay.
The berry one, I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of the berries, but it's just extra like cereal.
Okay.
The original ones, even though it cuts the roof of your mouth,
Yeah.
it's the greatest. It's so good, man. I love that cereal.
Would you wear the hat though?
Yes,
Okay.
but it would be red. It wouldn't be blue. I'll put a red hat on it, and I'll be like that, and it would say "working cat." It would say something cool.
Yeah, you worked at Captain then.
Yeah, I bring a
That's
box
true.
of cereal.
That's true.
But I actually have milk in the bowl because I'm gonna eat the cereal. I ain't gonna,
Okay.
I ain't gonna just pour it out.
This is to all of his family members. You know what to get them for Christmas now.
Yes.
Next up is one of our features. We call it the hot tag.
Uh-oh.
And Nate's going to be asking these questions, but essentially, he's going to throw out some names of other workers, and I'm sure you're familiar with most of these guys. First thing that comes to your head is kind of like a word association. Nate likes to call it the Twitter version of what first thing you think of.
So
Not super long.
So if
not
I,
Not super long,
so,
just one
all right,
word,
so
that's it.
for
140
example, it
characters,
doesn't have to be
whatever.
one
Yeah,
word.
so Twitter,
but,
okay.
but if I say Edge, you'd say greatest
Of all
or
time,
whatever.
gotcha.
You know, but it doesn't have to be one word.
got you.
So Nate, take it away.
All right, Darius Lockhart.
2-0, clean sweep. I'm done with him. He a bum. Next question.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
So I mentioned here you're currently in a feud here at
Yep.
Bible with him.
2-0.
You know something I want to point out. We're gonna backtrack for a second here. A couple shows ago, he had a match with Rob Killjoy. He won the match. You came out of the crowd and attacked him after the match. I think basically you were like, "You're in my spot,"
Yeah,
right?
that's exactly how I feel.
Now let me back you up to just before the last Flatline show. Antron Brewer gets done with his match, and he walks backstage. He's about to have an interview. You did something similar there too.
I just
So is
didn't
this
like
your MO?
I just didn't like him.
Okay,
I just didn't
okay.
like him.
All right. Brewer, you heard that.
I'm coming at your next.
All right. So yeah, we're really interested in the feud, the series you got going with Darius. It's really good. So
2-0 tonight.
you think it's nice? Is it?
It's over.
All right.
It's over tonight. I'm not playing.
Mm.
It's
I
not-
wouldn't mind seeing. I didn't get to see the first match, so
Right.
I'd like to get to see 2 out of it. So
Make sure you see this one because it's 2-0.
I'm not
You're
cheering
done.
against
I
you,
got a
but
broom and everything. I'm sweeping it.
All right.
That's it.
You
That's
come
it,
out.
Bubba.
You come out with a broom. That's
Yeah, I'm. No, you think I'm playing? Okay.
fine. All right, go ahead, Dave.
all right, the guys that I saw you walk into the building with, hierarchy.
They alright.
Sorry,
Just leave it.
split trends with.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Mm-hmm.
For that. Okay.
Yeah. I just had the music on. I had the Carter 5 playing. The greatest album ever. The Carter 5.
You didn't say that. Let's stop the interview now.
Not you too.
Oh, I
you
do
know-
not like Lil Wayne.
What?
I don't like Wayne. I don't like Jay-Z. I don't like who
Some
else?
Jason.
I do too.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne's the greatest.
You know,
Okay, we're gonna talk about that later.
I want to point out we discussed music, right?
Yes.
There ain't no music questions on here for
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. We gonna
you-
come back. We
because
gonna
you
come back
picked
to
the
it.
wrong one.
Oh, that's why. I was,
Go
looking,
ahead,
I was
Nate.
like, why are you talking about it?
We got to stop that there. go ahead, Nate. I'm
All
sorry.
right, one of my personal favorites, Billy Brash.
I love Billy. For the times that we like spoke, awesome guy. He in the ring. It's a scary SOB. Like it's a scary SOB, man. But as far as me knowing him, like, cause I don't even know how long I've known. Oh, I'm getting it too long. Great guy. That it. Okay, cool. Good. I'm glad I caught myself. All right.
We talked about this guy earlier, Sean Legacy.
Here, bum. I want my title back. Period. I still have yet to get a rematch.
That's true.
Throw that out there.
Point. There's that.
Throw it. And one-on-one. I haven't yet to get my rematch.
That's true.
So.
I have to remind Caleb about that.
Yeah.
Put a word in.
We'll talk to you after this, Caleb.
Yep.
All right, another guy from the ATL area, Chris Main.
I hate his dreads. It's like, Chris is really, really cool. He actually is one of the reasons why I'm actually here as far as coming to BPW. So that's the guy. I still don't like his dreads though.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Our next feature is called Over the Top Rope. We have our previous guest, who was Kevin Ray,
Okay.
which I messaged you about Kevin
Yes.
earlier in the week. Kevin Ray wants to know what is your favorite video game of all time? He's a big gamer, so.
Video game of all.
And in the console, in the arcade itself, if you're old school like me, anything.
The game I missed the most playing as a child was on the PlayStation, and it was like I said, it was a Star Wars game. It was like I don't even remember the name of it. It was just like I know Anakin was there. I know it was like the Luke, not Anakin, but Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the Star Wars game was on the PlayStation 1. That's like the
PlayStation 1.
Yes, the PlayStation 1. Yes.
All right.
So,
the PSP. I love the PSP.
okay, I hadn't used one of those. I've had a PS1 when it first came out, PS2, skipped the 3, got a PS4.
I never
Last
had a
year.
3 or 4.
I've been a PlayStation guy. Never had an Xbox.
Me too.
I'm gonna get me a PlayStation 4. The Spider-Man game is ridiculous.
I know. That's tempting me too.
Yes.
I'm sure my son will be playing more than me though, if he sees that.
All
Go
right,
ahead, Nate.
next feature. This is what we call the 10 count. This is basically just a group of questions that we'll pull 10 questions from, and we'll ask pretty much anybody. Some are wrestling related, some are not wrestling related. So, number one, we talked about this a little bit already, but do you prefer to be a face or a heel, and why?
Heel. I like to storytell. When I kind of like say I'm lying, I'll be like, no, I'm not a liar, I'm a storyteller. I always say that. I don't never say I'm lying. I just like to storytell and get into like wrestling, understanding what both meant. Great, it's crap. And plus Edge, my favorite. So and he was at one point he was like the greatest heel in WWE at one point.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, but I love heel. If I could prefer to work anyway, it would be heel.
Okay, that makes sense. Like I say, you're really good at it with interaction with the fans and stuff, so I definitely see that. Number 2 on the 10 count, who is your favorite road or traveling partner?
My favorite road and traveling partner.
You like to make the towns with?
If I can say, it honestly might be Kier. I think it might be Kier. Not only because like we kind of like eat the same thing and we kind of think the same. So like when she hung around, so it blends out. She'll never stink. It'll never have to be no real odor. If she farts, if she farts, it's never nothing like. It's just like it's just Kier. You know what it is, but it's really peaceful. Even though we gotta kind of flip multiple coins to see who drives first. But that's another story. That's a whole another story.
All right, tell me who you like to have a dream match with, dead and alive.
Dead and alive. I would love to wrestle Eddie Guerrero.
Mm-hmm.
If I could wrestle Eddie Guerrero. Current, I would want to wrestle Cedric Alexander.
Oh yeah.
Current.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good picks. I can see both of those.
That'd be litty. That'd be so lit.
So name something you would like to improve on.
Something that I would like to improve.
And they can be non-wrestling related as far as that goes.
Non-wrestling.
It can either one, wrestling related or non-wrestling.
My overthinking. I overthink a lot about a lot of stuff, and I think that is the reason why I be like so frustrated all the time. Just going with my gut. I kind of go with my gut, and then my head's like, oh wait, and then it just fucks me up. You know what I'm saying? So, but I would change my overthinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is what we call the envy question.
Oh.
If you could, we go back to our previous guest. Our previous guest was Kevin Ray. If you could take one thing away from Kevin Ray and have it, could be like his height or his moveset.
His jacket. He has a cool jacket that was like
Okay.
on like one of his pictures was like white and something. I was
Yes.
like, that's clean. I was like,
Okay.
I'll snatch that.
You don't want that Soda City title? Have you seen that belt?
Yeah, I've seen. It's pretty too. I would want that too. If I could have like a collector's thing, I know I'll take that.
Oh.
I'll take the belt, but I would want the jacket.
The jacket.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe
Yeah.
I'll ask him for the jacket. Well, maybe not after I take the belt because that would be like, hey,
Right, it's
no,
too
I
much.
just took your belt, but can I get that? You know what I'm saying?
That's perfect. Yeah.
Maybe we need to talk to Caleb about that too.
Yeah.
Get Get a
little K-rate
K-rate,
action down in Thompson.
I'm at your neck.
Number 6 on the 10 count. We usually ask, what is your go-to cookout order? However, you've got a backstory for us about cookouts. Let's hear it.
I used to like cookout until one night it was like 3:37. It was 3:37 in the morning.
Wow.
And it was me and my friend. We pulled up, and he was like, "Yo, let's go to cookout." And I'm like, "All right, it's fine, it's right here." And I don't really like McDonald's. Burger King's but Burger King just takes too long. So we pull up, and I asked for like the number one, and I asked for all the fixings. Like I clearly was like, I want this, pickles, all that stuff. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it, and I don't check it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't check it. I drive home.
Oh.
I open it, and I'm like, my friend starts laughing. He just immediately starts laughing. He's like, "Where the rest of it?" It was like the bread was soggy. The patties were literally that big.
Dime size patties.
Yes, and it was 2 of them, and there was no cheese. So he was like, bro, it's still open. So we got back in the car, we went back there. We go back, and then like I'm in the drive, and I'm like, I just came here, and I got this, and I didn't get this. And the dude, they're not trying to like hear me. They're like cutting up the speaker. They're like, no, we're closed. I was like, I live down the street. I was literally gone for 90 seconds. I was like, I don't even want a lot. Can you just throw some ketchup on it? Like, just something what I paid for. He was like, no, bro, we can't do that. We could give you this. I was like, you know what, sir? It's 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm going to take my burger. I'm going to go home. You have a blessed day. And I left. I will never get cookout from that one in Atlanta on, if I can remember the street name and everything, I will.
Call them out now.
I'm going to find it, and I'm going to tag it in the video.
We'll put it on there. Send it to us.
Exactly. Oh, my goodness. That's my cookout story, and I will never go back. And I got sick after that.
Oh, man.
That's better than hearing your favorite cookout order.
What's your usual 2 sides, though? That's why I like asking.
Hush puppies. I love
a lot of
hush
options.
puppies.
Hush puppies, okay.
And that's why I love cooking, because the options are ridiculous.
Yes.
It's just like, why would you get hush puppies? And you got a chicken wrap. It's ridiculous. So, but I like the hush puppies, and I usually get the chicken wrap too.
Yeah.
That's usually my sides.
Okay.
And then that's it. I'm really not a big fry fan. I don't eat everybody's fries.
Right.
Nate, what's your sides?
I get the chicken wrap with ranch, but you can ask for buffalo sauce. So I put the buffalo sauce, put buffalo sauce and extra ranch. Another ranch in there, so it's extra ranch and buffalo.
He knows it. He knows
Yeah.
the game.
And the chicken quesadilla is my other side.
I get double bacon wrap.
Yeah.
I double up.
Double bacon wrap.
See, you guys are cookout connoisseurs.
We are.
I didn't know you could double bacon wrap. Oh, man.
Yeah. Double
Still,
bacon wrap.
I don't like cookout.
All right.
So I order.
Or at least not that one.
Just that one. I'll go to any other
Go to
one.
Augusta.
Yeah, I'll go to Augusta.
We got 3 in
Oh, hey,
Augusta.
man,
I
Augusta.
got 3.
Listen, the one in Augusta, seriously, it's like Chick-fil-A. It's my pleasure and never have anything wrong.
Chick-fil-A is amazing.
Yeah,
That
it
line's
is.
just too long. The line's ridiculously long.
Do the mobile order and just go in and get it. That's what I do. And then you earn free stuff.
For real, they got an app or something?
Chick-fil-A one.
You got to do it.
They got an app.
I'm silver status, working my way up to red. So,
Okay.
are you on there yet?
I tried to log in. I
See,
couldn't
I
get a
did
login.
earlier,
I
right?
tried. I was like, I'm just not
Listen,
getting
honestly,
I'm just not
I've
gonna-
gotten 2 free chicken sandwiches, 1 milkshake, 2 fries back in the last 4 months.
Jeez.
So
Yeah.
it's good. Anyway, all
I
right,
got
moving
some
on.
deals, man.
Number 7. You ever play any other sports?
No, actually, I didn't. The only sport if I could play any sport, I was like trying out with like basketball, but I couldn't shoot to save my life.
Okay.
And I really didn't like it. Like I only really wanted to do wrestling. And my high school, like I didn't have wrestling in any of my schools until my last year of high school.
Okay.
My school, like, I guess couldn't afford it or something. My principal said, like, when I was like in 9th grade. And then like my last year had it, and I was like, well, might as well try because that's the only thing I wanted to do, and I was good at it. I finished like 8-2.
That's good.
I was cool. It was so short, and because I was like, I really wish I had it when I first started.
Yeah.
But that's like the only other sport as far as professional wrestling.
Gotcha. Number 8 on the 10 count. Name one thing you would like to see changed in the pro wrestling business. We call this the genie in a bottle. If you could instantly change anything on any level, not just something you see on TV or something in the indies where you're working, but all across the board.
Stop making it look so, I guess so like, I don't know. It's just the realness. I guess we can, I guess I would say that. And what I mean by that is, it's just like, when I was growing up, it was what people like the character or what the person, like, you know, what it was bringing, what, you know, captivated me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I remember DJ Hyde had said, like, who remembers the first move in Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair at WrestleMania 24? I don't.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone remembers, I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
I love you. Everyone remembers that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 10 years ago, everyone still remembers that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, it was, growing up, it was just, you know, characters, and as far as what they are trying to portray on this camera, you know what I'm saying? And I think everyone is just like a guy or like a girl, you know what I'm saying? It's really like, oh, I'm a tough guy, this, that, or this. It's not really more so of like characters. That's why I love NXT so much. And Velveteen Dream is one of my favorite people to watch because it's just the character. His NXT takeover matches were by far part of the best matches on the card, just as simple as far as his character.
He's the opener
And
sometimes.
those
It's
cards
follow
are
that.
always-
Yes, follow that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, you could do all the moves in the world, but like, when everyone leaves that arena, do you want them to talk about the moves you did, or you want to talk about, yo, that Owen Knight guy?
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to put myself over, but I'm just speaking like, you know, something about him really spoke out to me. He was cool in the ring, but it's just the attitude. It was just something that's just like grasp to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And whatever it is that people grasp to with Velveteen is just amazing.
So more developing a character.
More developing the characters, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you had to, because it's just like, if I just get in front of screens, it's like, if Undertaker didn't roll his eyes in the back of the head, who? He'd just be a guy in black. You know what I'm saying? If he didn't have the lights, if he didn't have, you know, if he didn't have the persona, it would
The
just
urn,
be.
everything, yeah.
If Randy Orton didn't have, if he didn't beat on the jump, he didn't get all, you know, animated when he was doing it, he would just be Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because you put the character development, you feel it, you all is in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why it makes people gravitate to it. It makes people want to come back. People love The Undertaker, consider him the greatest of all time,
Yeah.
just off of
So
what he looks like, who he is. Oh, the interest and stuff
Yeah.
alone is just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny you're saying that. I'm not an Undertaker fan at all. But
Oh.
when they asked him,
Mhm.
what's your advice for young guys? He said, work on your character more than your moveset.
No, and I watched the video and I shared it and I completely agree with it because it's just like,
You saw the same I did?
yeah, the same thing. Like, because I completely agree with it because he was speaking facts.
Mhm.
You got like 30 moves. It's like, okay, probably do like 5 of those. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, at least have the moves to adapt with the character. You know what I'm saying? Just don't just have stuff to do because it sounds cool or it looks cool.
Right.
And people just fall, and that's what people forget. Like, that's why we fell in love with wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Hulk Hogan ripping the shirt,
Yeah.
the Hulkamania running about, the colors, the energy he brought into what Hulkamania was is why people love him.
Mm-hmm.
As far as any other character, people say they hate John Cena. John Cena is one of the GOATs of, not all time, of our generation.
Yeah.
As far as my generation, because of the character of what he was. He started out as, you know, just a regular guy, moving to a rapper. He started rapping he was a battle rapper at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Then he evolved into, you know, hustle, loyalty, and respect, in which transcended into the whole military and all that other stuff. But he was still, you know, him, and just he had to put everything to the character.
Yeah.
Cena still does the same moves.
Yeah.
5 moves, well, 6.
You have to do it. Sure.
But I mean,
All that.
yeah. So it's just the character development, bro.
Yeah.
Character development.
Okay. Number 9, pick a superpower.
I wish I could. I wish I had Static Shock. I wish I could like electrocute people. Like Static Shock. Oh my god, I wish I could, bro. That'd be so.
That's one we have not heard.
Ooh, oh my god.
We've heard flight. We've heard
See?
healing
Healing,
ability,
yeah.
so that you work every night and not get hurt. You know, things like
Okay.
that.
Teleporting.
Teleporting to go to different shows. I've never heard anybody want.
Yeah,
shock
electrocute.
somebody.
Boom. Oh yeah, I would love to be electrocuted. It's crazy.
Oh man, this is why I like this guy.
Be an X-Man and snap.
All right, and you see what number 10 is here.
Yeah,
We've already answered
Let's
this.
change that.
All right,
Okay.
so
'Cause, I mean,
let's
we-
do Mount Rushmore.
Okay, my
Okay.
bad.
Mount Rushmore of wrestling for you.
Cool.
Obviously, you want Edge on there for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's your other 3?
Edge is 1. Shawn Michaels is 2.
Mhm.
If I could do anything, I'd put Shawn Michaels before, but that's a whole nother story. Edge, Shawn Michaels, I was just thinking about it. Macho Man
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and it was on top. I was just thinking about it. And Eddie Guerrero.
Okay. Okay.
And
So you mentioned Cena and Taker as possible. So.
I mean, they're honorable mentions, but like, as far as mine, like everyone puts them on their Mount Rushmore. But it's influencing me that I put that right there because to me, if I could pick those four, if I could just be in a room with those four, just listen, I wouldn't even say nothing.
Oh yeah.
I just sit there, just listen. You know what I'm saying? Those are the guys.
Okay. Well, that is the end of our 10 count. So what we need you to do is start plugging. If a booker wants to get a hold of you,
You call my phone.
somebody wants one of these shirts right here. How do they find you? How do they reach out to
You
you?
can find me on social media. You find me on Facebook as Owen Knight. Find me on IG as TWTCAPT. Twat Captain for short. Look, my friend said that, and I was like, "Bro, you suck." Like,
I did not think of that.
I'm on Snapchat as Owen Knight 202. My Twitter is Owen Knight TWTDC on Twitter.
Is that why you use Twitter very much? You can't log in?
Well, no, no, I do. It's just when I say it, I stumble and be like, "What's your Twitter again?" It sounds like your Snapchat, and I got. One day I'm gonna get it all together to either make Twat Cap. I think I might just have that. I don't want to keep saying that, but it's
People remember it.
Yeah.
I know, but
remember it.
Oh my goodness! And as far as email, if promoters want to book me, especially with Kevin Ray, because I want his jacket.
Okay.
And it's tight. I'm gonna take the tight.
Jacket on the pole match.
Jacket on the pole match. I'll take that. You can email me at hypestar94@gmail.com.
Really?
It's always on my. I dropped my phone. It's always on my phone.
Hypestar94 G.
I'm always on my phone. Jesus, I'll give you my number.
Welcome.
So if you guys want a great heel that's always working,
Yes.
this is the guy.
The guy.
The working team captain.
2-0 tonight. Tonight, he get the beats and the lumps. I'm so sick of this.
Well, you
I got
know,
a bottle of Bel Air in the car.
by the time we get this edited and produced, this match will have happened. It's
Okay, well
going
then
on now.
I'm letting you know.
So you're calling your shot.
I'm letting you know I got a bottle of Bel Air in the car. As soon as the 3 count, I'm leaving and I'm popping it. 2-0. Woo! 2-0. I'm so excited.
Nate, will you give them our social media?
Yes, we are on Facebook. At Facebook.com/suplexesmics. Instagram, suplexesmics. Twitter, @suplexesmics. It all matches. So you can, we're
all
easy to
the
find.
same.
Yeah.
And don't just like the content and not follow. I hate when people do that.
Yeah.
Please
Yes.
follow.
Yes.
Please.
Follow and submit questions if for our next guest coming up. And we will have a question from this man for our next guest, just like we always do for the Over the Top Rope section.
Oh, so I get
Because
okay.
Kevin asked you about the video game, so you'll have to come up with something.
For Kevin or just
No,
the next
for the
person.
next person.
Okay.
To be determined.
Okay.
We'll let you know. We'll know who it is.
Yeah, because you may want to know who it is first, because you might have a beef with the guy.
Yeah.
Or you touch the-
Okay, I'm gonna wait because
Yeah.
my question's gonna be about something simple. Since you said that, I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
All right. Nate, that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it. We're good.
Episode 21's in the books.
Thanks for watching.
1, 2, 3.